All right, salute omnes, welcome Living Latin Live. Back again, this time in the fall. So we got 12 weeks planned out of some Latin for you guys. We're going to record these episodes for those of you who can't make it and watch it on replay. But if you can, definitely stop on in. It's a lot of fun. So, but we're going to start. So since we don't know where everybody is, some people have done this before, some haven't. I'm just going to kind of lay out some ground rules and see how we're going to do things. So actually, let me line up my screen first. Sorry, let me get there it is. All right, there we go. Hit the presentation button. Let me, all right. Sorry, I was getting a phone call. All right, so here we go. So, and at any time, if you think I'm going too fast, just give me the universal sign to pause, right? This. You're just going to give me a pause sign. I'm going to see if I can get everybody on my screen here so that way I can kind of keep an eye out. So if I'm going too fast, definitely let me know by telling me to pause, or if you hit the little raise hand button in Zoom here, I can see it and kind of circle back and check in with you. But I just want to make sure the goal for us, of course, is to just kind of learn the language and have it mapped out in our mind. And I don't want to go too fast and make it fun as well. So these are the kind of constructions we're going to work on, or vocabulary or grammatical constructions. We've got est, we've got volt, we've got videt. So let me get my pointer out so it makes a little bit more sense to those watching. So we got est, volt, videt, edat, adit, and adicit. So we're just going to practice saying these a little bit so you can kind of get comfortable with how Latin is spoken, because you might have one idea of how to pronounce things, but it might be another way. So everyone say est.
Est.
Good, est. Pretty straightforward, est. And it's a linking verb. You're going to see it a lot. So est, and we're going to work on that a lot tonight rather. Next word is wolt. Everyone say wolt.
Wolt.
Wolt. That V is going to pronounce like a W. So we're using what's called the reconstructed classical pronunciation, not the ecclesiastical. So ecclesiastical is the church pronunciation. That's when you hear things like veni, vidi, vici from Caesar. We're going to do weni, vidi, vici, what they believe the classical pronunciation is. I have a whole nother theory on that, but we'll just go with that for now. So wolt. And then our next word is going to be videt. Everyone say videt. Videt. Good. So that V is going to pronounce like a W sound. So if you're tempted to say videt, that's fine. But just remember, for our purposes, to kind of keep everyone on the same page, we're just going to use the classical reconstructed pronunciation. Next phrase here is a.
A
And a dot. Dot. Good. A dot. So this is giving something, right? Dot as the verb, and then a is to him or to her. It's a pronoun. Don't worry about that if it's not making sense. We'll get to that later in the course, but I just want to give you some feel for how to pronounce the language. Next phrase here is Sherry, what's your question?
Just can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So no gender.
For that particular pronoun, what's great is that A is male or female. Yeah, there's no gender indicated from that particular pronoun.
Thank you.
Yeah. So good question. Next one here is ad eat. Everyone say ad. Then eat.
Eat.
Good. The thing about vowels in Latin, at least the way I approach it, is they have a consistent sound. There's some discussion about long and short and all that, but for our purposes, you're just gonna have the same kind of phonetic sound to it. So we did eat, right? It's gonna sound like a double E sound in English. So ad eat. And then the last one here is a dicit. Everyone say a. Dicit. Bene. A dicit. Good. So good. So est, vult, videt, edat, adit, dicit. All right. So we're going to say bye to our friends for now because we're going to really focus on S tonight, and then the other ones we'll gradually bring in, so it'll make a lot more sense. There's some question words at the top and the bottom. So don't worry too much about those because we'll kind of focus on those piece by piece. I just have them up there as a reference. But for now, we're gonna kind of pick those up as we go. So the one we're really gonna focus on though is gonna be this one, quis. So everyone say quis.
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 Yeah, good. Again, the QU sound, we have that in English. So quis, and all the QU words you see there, these are all question words or interrogatives. So very familiar sound. And then just the IS, so E, so quis. So very simple. And the other ones, like I said, we'll come back to them as we kind of get to them, because I want to kind of move us into the language. All right. So let me go ahead and move us to our next slide here. Really our first slide with the language on it, and how things start. So some ground rules up front first for those of you that don't know. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Let me share that back. There we go. I was trying to get my annotation tool. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys to make sure you're paying attention. So I'm going to say omnes, and that is asking, everyone, or you might say class, but it literally means everybody. So when I say omnes, you're going to say ita. All right. In fact, let me do one more thing here. Make sure I have this on the screen. There's one more. I guess not. All right. I forgot that. Shoot. All right. Everyone, when I say omnes, you say ita. So omnes.
Ita.
Ita.
Bene. Good. That means that you're paying attention and ready to go. So omnes.
Ita.
Bene. Now this word bene, you're going to hear me say a lot. Just means like well done. All right. So bene is you're doing it right. All right. Now if I say I won't, but if I said male, what do you think male means?
Bad.
Badly done.
Badly done, right? Yeah. So bene male, but we're not going to have any male. I'm just putting it up there so you can learn the difference, the antonym of it. So omnes.
Ita.
Ita.
Bene. So the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to make a statement of fact. When I say that, I'm going to gesture like this, and that's going to invite you to go, oh, like it's the most amazing thing you've ever heard in your life. All right. It might feel silly at first, but it has a really good effect on you in terms of, integrating the language. So whenever I do this with my hands, I want you guys to go, oh, like it's the most amazing thing. So let's practice this. All right. Everyone, ita, omnes.
Ita.
Let's practice. Oh,
Oh.
good. Omnes
Ita.
est puer.
Oh.
Omnes
Ita.
est puer.
Oh.
Ita. Est puer. What do you think est means?
There it
Yeah, there is, right? And what does this word puer mean?
Oh boy.
Yeah, it means literally boy. All right. Notice I said puer, right? It's almost like the UE is squished together. So puer. So est puer. All right. Pretty simple, straightforward. That word est, does it look like anything in English, or does it give you kind of does it look like anything you might associate with is?
It is.
Yeah. Est. I mean, to me, it seems pretty straightforward, but I just want to make sure. So one of the things you can do when you're introducing new words with students is, anchor it to a gesture or to some other association. So est, puer.
It's the same
Omnes.
as French, if you speak French.
There you go. Yeah, it looks the same, but I'm sure it's pronounced like, without like 5,000 vowels in there or something like, oh, puer.
Or if
I
you're
could
from the
make-
Western US, you could just say the West is best.
There you go. West. West
Is
est.
best.
West est best. I like that. That's good. West est best. All right. So omnes
Ita.
Ita.
Da.
puer est Danielus.
Oh.
Oh, Ita. Oh. So his anglicized name would be Daniel, but we're going to put a little us on the end to make it Danielus, of course. You know, it's almost like you got to do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys questions, and unfortunately my slide doesn't have it up there, so I'm just going to write it in here. There's two responses possible. You can say ita, which just means yes, or you can say minime, which means no. All right. So everyone, let's practice this. Everyone say ita,
Ita.
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 and now let's say minime.
Mini.
Minime.
Minime. So we got ita,
Ita.
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 minime.
Minime.
Mini.
Good. So the other thing that's unique about Latin is when I ask a question, they didn't really have punctuation. So you would hear this ne coming on the end of the first word, right? And what that's indicating is I have a question, but I want to know binary. It's a binary question. Is it an ita or is it a minime? So I will say ne when I'm expecting you to give me an ita or minime. So what's really neat about that is there's no confusion. When you hear the ne, you know, oh, he wants me to give him an ita positive or a minime negative answer, right? So omnes
Ita.
Ita.
est ne Danielus puer est ne Danielus puer
Ita.
ita Danielus est puer omnes
Ita.
Da.
Ita.
est ne Danielus puer
Ita.
Ita.
ita Danielus est puer omnes
Ita.
est ne Danielus elephantus
Minima.
minime
Minime.
Non est elephantus.
non est elephantus. What do you think elephantus is?
Elephant.
Yes, just in case, right? Elephantus. So I will throw around some cognates. That way you can kind of absorb my vocabulary without getting lost in it. So, omnes
Ita.
Ita.
esne Danielus Leo
Minime.
minime. Non est Leo.
Non est Leo.
What is a Leo?
Rawr.
Ita, a lion, right? The sign of the zodiac. That's why. It's because it's a Latin word for lion. So, omnes
Ita.
Ita.
esne Danielus elephantus an puer. Esne Danielus elephantus an puer.
Est. Puer.
Puer est optime. What am I asking you? If I put this an in here, esne Danielus elephantus an puer. What am I doing?
Or. Either.
Mm-hmm.
Either
Yeah,
Elephant or
a boy.
Boy.
boy, right. Because now I'm asking you for a choice, right? So that on right there, that on word, that's your or, right? So a couple things. If you hear the ne, I'm expecting an ita minime. But if I don't use the ne and I say on, kind of in between A and B here, I'm expecting you to make a decision there. So omnes
Ita.
Ita.
esne Danielus Leo
minime.
Minime.
minime. Danielus non est Leo. Omnes
Ita.
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 esne Danielus puer
Ita.
Ita.
Ita. Danielus est puer. Omnes.
Ita.
Esne Danielus elephantus an puer.
Puer. Puer.
Ita. El Danielus est puer, non est elephantus. Danielus non est Leo. Danielus non est equus. Equus. Here's a good one.
Of course.
That's where the word equestrian comes from, right? So equus. All right.
Equus.
So ita equus. Esne Danielus equus?
Minime.
Minime.
Esne Danielus elephantus?
Minime.
Minime. Esne Danielus Leo?
Minime.
Minime.
Ita es Leo. Es Leo. Minime. Non es Leo. Just checking to see if you guys are hanging in there. Danielus non est Leo. Esne Danielus puer?
Ita.
Ita. Danielus est puer. All right, good. So where are we at in terms of understanding that? A 5 means you got it. A 4 means you got it, but you kind of have to look at the screen. A 3, you're kind of a little fuzzy. 2, 1, where are we at so far? Just want to kind of check in, make sure everybody's still with us. All right, seeing some 5s. Okay, so let's try and throw you guys off. No, just kidding. All right. So,
Question.
Ita, Jesse.
So when you are saying that Daniel is not something, you would put the non-N-O-N before the S, right?
Ita, thanks. That's right. I should probably put that up there. So, yeah, you want to negate something. I'm just kind of running out of room here. Non just means not, right? So, Danielus est puer. If I want to say he's not, I would say Danielus non est puer, right? You put the non in front of the est.
Okay.
Now, Latin, you're going to find out, doesn't really rely on syntax for meaning. It actually is inflected, so the words can kind of be a little loose. But for the most part, we usually have that negation in front of the verb, right? Unless you're doing something crazy like poetry, which we're not going to worry about right now. All right. So Danielus is put. Now, the next piece of this is now I'm going to ask you guys questions. So I'm going to go around and ask you guys individually, and you're going to role play. So you're going to take on the role of Danielus, and I'm going to ask you questions as if you're Danielus, and then you're going to respond. All right. So Allison, since you're a pro, tu es Danielus. Now, just to kind of draw your guys' attention to this, you see this box here that has well, the verbs we're working on. So far we've learned est, right? Danielus est puer. So est puer, right? He is. But here you've got tu es and you've got ego sum, right? So I'm not going to tell you what those mean. I'm just going to let that kind of sit there and as a reference for you. But through the interaction, I want you to try to figure out what you need. All right. So we are going to role play, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to assign you your role, and I'm going to ask you a question. All right. So Allison, tu es Danielus. Esne puer.
Ita ego sum puer.
Bene, ita tu es puer. Omnes.
Ita.
Ita.
Allison Danielus est puer.
Oh.
Ita. So again, she's playing the role, right? So when I assign you the role, your job is to pretend you are in that role, like, you know, Daniel Day-Lewis or something, and you're going to be a method actor and you're going to be that person. All right. So let's see. Jesse.
Ita.
Tu es Danielus. Esne puer.
Ita ego sum puer.
Ita, tu es puer. Optime. Omnes.
Ita.
Jesse Danielus est puer.
Oh.
Ita. Lauren.
Ita.
tu es Danielus, esne elephantus.
Minime.
Ah,
Ego sum non elephantus.
Bene. Tu non es elephantus, tu es puer. Oh, omnes plaudite, mea culpa. I meant like he did that well, so we want to celebrate that. And then omnes
Ita.
Ita.
Lauren Danielus non est elephantus, es puer.
Oh.
Oh, Ita. Sherry,
Ita.
tu es Danielus. Esne, Leo.
Minime ego sum elephantes.
Tu es elephantus.
Elephantus.
Ita, tu es elephantus. Omnes.
Ita.
Ita.
Huh?
Danielus Sherry, non es puer, es
Non
elephantus.
Oh.
Oh, Ita. So she's just getting so into character. She's now taking on a new role. Oh, optime.
Oh.
Est puer Danielus et omnes est elephantus. Sherry Danielus est elephantus. Oh, Ita. Let's see. Yeah, so let me see. Who am I missing? I feel like let's see, Macy. All right. Macy, so I'm making my screen big so I can see everybody. Macy,
Gotta unmute yourself.
yeah, you're on mute. Yeah, unmute yourself.
Mhm.
See here.
In the
She
chat,
said
she
she's
said,
she's coughing. All right, so we'll skip past you then for now, Macy. We'll come back to you. But optime. Let's see here. Now let's see this. Omnes
Ita.
yeah,
quis. All right, so we got this word quis. Let me find my pointer again. Quis. So quis, we're going to do a gesture to help us remember what this means. Quis. So everyone say quis and do this. A circle
Quis.
around the face.
Quis.
Quis. So what does quis mean in English?
Who?
ooh,
Bene. So quis est Danielus. Quis est Danielus.
Danielus est.
Where? Where?
Ita. Danielus est
Elephantus.
puer. Ita. Danielus est puer. So quis, right? Quis est Danielus? Danielus est puer. Omnes,
Ita.
Ita.
quis est Sherry Danielus?
Elephantus.
Elephantus.
Ita. Sherry Danielus non es puer. Sherry Danielus est elephantus. Ita. Optime. So omnes,
Ita.
quis ego sum? Quis ego sum?
Magister.
Ita. Sum magister. Magister. I'll put that up here too. Magister just means teacher. If you are a lady, you would say you are a magistra. Let's call that the better teacher. The lady teachers. Right? So there's magister, magistra. Ego sum magister. I guess that's good enough. I think you can kind of see it. Ego sum magister, ita, sed omnes,
Ita.
Ita.
ego sum vir. Oh, ita. Ego sum vir. All right, let's put somewhere you can see it better. All right. Omnes,
Ita.
sumne elephantus. Sumne elephantus.
Minime.
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 Non sum elephantus. Omnes,
Ita.
Ita.
sumne Leo. Sumne leo,
Minime.
minime,
minime. Non sum leo, non
No.
sum elephantus. Omnes
Ita.
ita,
sumne puer.
Minime.
minime,
Minime. Non sum puer. Too old to be a puer. Non sum puer. Omnes
Ita.
sumne equus.
Minime.
Eh,
Minime. Non sum equus, non sum elephantus, non sum leo, non sum puer. Omnes
ita,
sumne vir.
Ita.
Ita
Ita.
sum vir. Sum vir. Sum vir. All right. Sum vir et, and et just means and. That's an easy one. So sum vir et magister. Oh,
Oh.
ita. Omnes
Ita.
sum vir et magister.
Oh,
Oh, the most amazing information you've ever heard, right? So sum vir et magister. All right. Let's see. Allison,
Ita.
tu es Danielus.
Ego
Tu
sum.
es Danielus.
Ego sum.
Quis ego sum. Quis ego sum.
Tu es magister et vir.
Optime. Ego sum magister et vir. Omnes
Ita.
ita,
ego sum magister et vir.
Oh.
Oh, ita. Ita. Sherry, tu es Danielus. Quis es tu? Quis es tu?
uh, ego sum, I forgot who you told me I was. Ego sum
Danielus.
Sherry. Ego sum Sherry?
Ita, tu es Sherry, said tu es Danielus Sherry. Bene, Sherry Danielus. Quis es tu?
Quis est tu? Quis est, who are you?
Ita.
Ego sum Danielus.
Ita, tu es Danielus. Plaudite, optime. Said tu es Sherry Danielus, right? You're a little bit more specific. You're not just Danielus. Do you remember who you said you were? You made a bold
Sherry.
claim.
Elefante.
Ita, optime,
Elefante.
optime, plaudite, optime. Ita. See, you zigged while everybody zagged. You said you were an elephantus, so I was trying to bring that back. Omnes,
Ita.
Ita.
Sherry Danielus, non es puer, est elephantus. Oh.
Oh.
Omnes,
Ita.
Ita.
esne Sherry Danielus vir?
Minime.
Minime.
Minime. Esne Sherry Danielus Leo?
Minime.
Ne.
Minime. Esne Sherry Danielus Magister?
Minime.
Minime.
Magistra.
Magistra elephantus. Oh, ho, ho.
Oh.
Oh, tu es elephantus et magistra. Oh, omnes.
Ita.
Ita. We could say makte, just throw another word at you. Makte just means cool, right?
Mate.
Makte.
Acte.
Sherry Danielus est elephantus et magistra. Makte.
Mate.
Optime. Makte. Lauren,
Ita.
tu es Danielus. Quis es tu? quis est tu?
Ego sum Lauren Danielus.
Ita, tu es Lauren Danielos, ita. Esne Lauren Danielos, esne puer,
Ita.
ita. Tu es puer. Lauren Danielos, esne elephantus,
Minime.
minime. Tu non es elephantus, Sherry Danielos es elephantus, tu es puer, Lauren Danielos. Plaudite, optime, optime, Lauren Danielos. Jesse,
Ita.
tu es magister. Tu es magister. Quis es tu? Quis es tu?
Ego sum magister.
Ita, tu es magister. Optime.
Okay. Ego sum vir.
Ita, tu es magister et tu es vir. Optime.
I have a question.
Ita,
If you're wanting to know like the who and the what, I guess I was getting confused because what am I? I would have said man, but when you were saying who, I was thinking, well, I'm the
right.
teacher. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you use those interchangeably or not? I didn't know.
Sure, you can. Just like in English, what are you? Right?
Okay.
We're not saying you're a thing. We're just saying kind of like in general, what, maybe occupation, contextually, sure. So Latin will say quid for kind of like specifically what is it? Quid est, right? But if we want
Okay.
to know who this person is, we would say quis, right? In fact, if we know that the person is a girl, right, like a femina or a puela, which we'll kind of do later, you wouldn't say quis, you would say qui. But anywho, yeah, quis quid. So if I said quid est tu, right, I probably want to know maybe your occupation, contextually. But
Okay.
quis is, easier, I think, in a sense, because we're just trying to make you guys.
Okay. I was a little confused on that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Optime, gracias. Okay, so let's see here. Lauren, tu es magister. Tu es magister. Quis es tu?
Ego sum puer et ego sum magister.
Ita, tu es magister, sed tu non es puer, quis es tu, or quid es tu?
Quid ego sum puer.
Danielus es puer,
Danielus
sed
est puer.
magister non es puer. Magister est quid es magister?
Magister et vir.
Weir.
Vir.
Optime. Magister, tu es magister, tu est vir. Optime. Plaudite. Optime, omnes. All right. So what we kind of do now at this point is we've kind of got a lot of information, so we want to kind of consolidate it. And so what we do is we describe the situation so far, and that usually means kind of giving us a summary of what we've gotten so far. So, for example, I will say, I'll give you a role. Like I'll say, all right, you are Danielus, describe the situation. So let me demonstrate that. So if I'm going to play the role of Danielus, I would say, ego sum Danielus, sum puer, non sum elephantus, non sum leo, non sum equus, non sum vir, sum puer, right? And if I wanted to keep going, I can say est vir, magister est vir, magister non est puer, magister non est elephantus, magister non est leo, magister est vir, right? Just to kind of affirm that. And if I want to get really fancy, I can say est elephantus, Sherry Danielos est elephantus, Sherry Danielos est elephantus et magistra, right? I really want to build that out. So the point is to help you kind of consolidate the information as much as you can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a minute. And what I want you to do is I want you to describe the situation. I want you to be Danielus. and describe as much as you can. So I'm going to give you a minute. So mute yourselves so you can talk. If you really want to practice, you could just kind of talk to the hand, right? Or you could just talk normal. But hit mute and I'll give you a minute and then we'll come back and then we'll kind of go from there. All right. So 1 minute, practice speaking as much Latin, describe situation as much as you can. All right. 1 minute, go.
Ego sum Danielus.
All right. Salvete omnes. Go ahead and come on back. You can unmute yourselves. So now at this point, what we do is I'm going to ask you guys to describe the situation and describe as much of it as you can. So if it's 1 or 2 sentences, that's fine. If it's 4, even better. But we're just trying to get you to kind of consolidate and summarize things, but really get the language mapped out in your head and give you an opportunity to speak freely. All right. So Jesse, you're up first. Tu es Danielus. So go ahead and describe the situation.
Okay. Ego sum Danielus, sum puer, non sum vir, magister est vir. Sherry Danielos est elephantus et magistra. That's all.
Optime, platite, optime. And so I repeat it back just to make sure that I understand it. And then you listen to what I say because hopefully I say what you said correctly. But if I get something wrong, you want to correct me. So Jesse, tu es Danielus, tu es puer, tu non es vir, est magister, ego sum magister, sum vir, non sum elephantus, sed est Danielus Sherry, et Danielus Sherry est elephantus, et Danielus Sherry quoque est magistra. Bene? Did I get it right, Jesse?
Yeah, I didn't use quoque though, so they may not
Yeah,
they may not know
that's
that one.
fine. Yeah, I think did I put it over there or did I? Okay, yeah, I
think
used the word. I went out of bounds. Mea culpa. I used the word that you guys don't know. Quoque, just for transparency, means also. All right. You don't obviously have to integrate that in there, but there it is. All right. Lauren, tu es Danielus. Go and describe situation as much as you can.
Ego sum Danielus, non sum puer, ego sum vir et magister. Sherry Danielos non est equus, ie est elephantus.
Oh, optime, Plaud.
Et magistra.
Et magistra.
Ah, optime, plaudite discipli, optime, discipla que, omnes. Optime, Lauren. Tu es Danielus, tu es puer, et es magister, ego sum magister, ego sum vir, et est Danielus Sherry, Danielus Sherry est elephantus, et ea, I like how you use that, est magistra. Did I miss anything?
Minime.
Ultime, good. My brain's still working after a long day at work. Ultime. All right. Let's see. Sherry Danielos, a lot has been talked about this. You are 2S Sherry Danielos. Describe situation.
Unmute.
Oh yeah, you should be unmuted. Let's see. Yeah, you're muted, Sherry. For some reason I can't fix
Oh,
it.
Am I
There we go.
muted now?
Yeah, here you are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Ego sum Sherry Danielos, ego sum puer, et non sum elephantus, an non sum equus, quoque non sum vir, period.
Ita. Planite. Sherry Danielos is tricky. Sherry Danielos, tu es Sherry Danielos, tu, now you have a bold claim, tu non es elephantus, tu es puer, tu non es, shoot, I forgot what else you said.
Vir.
I was focused,
Quoque
tu
non.
non es weird. Hmm?
Equus.
Ita, tu non es equus, tu non es weird, tu non es elephantus, tu es puer. So I guess now she's reverted back to being a puer. So maybe you're like, what was that god in mythology who's always changing shapes? I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Can't remember his name. All right. My screen's kind of frozen, but all right. Allison, tu es magister. Describe the situation.
Ego sum magister, ego sum vir. Esne magister es puer, non, magister non es puer, ego non sum equus, ego non sum elephantus, ego non sum leo, Danielus sibum leo est, sibum,
Kibum
Danielus
ita.
sibum leo est.
Optime. All right. Optime. Let me put that word kibum on the screen here for those.
I keep forgetting about that.
Kibum.
Sorry.
Food. All right.
I learned that word from Duolingo.
Ita. Sitaki. They're always talking about the parrots too. Such a useful word to have in Latin. Tu es magister, tu es vir, tu non es elephantus, tu non es puer. Est Danielus, Danielus es puer, sed Danielus est quibum leonis. Bene? Ita. He's food, well, probably quibum leoni, he's food for the lion, is what she's what she's saying. So poor Danielus, Danielus as miser, is you know, wretched. Let me see. I think Macy asked the question. Let me see. Let me pull it up here on my screen real quick, just to, since she's like coughing and everything. She's confused the role of playing different people, being an elephant, etc. Yeah, that will get a little tricky. That's usually we don't let people kind of make up their own roles, but with Sherry Danielos, it's her way or the highway, you know. So we don't know, but yeah. So she, so Danielos says puer, but when we talk about Sherry Danielos, right? Specifically, she is an elephantus magistra, and apparently she's also a menox, which means a tricky person. Because then she said she's not an elephantus, but a puer. So yeah, we're all confused on what she's doing. But Danielus non es leo, an equus, an vir. That's good, Macy. So that works. Right? You're saying he's not an leo, he's not an equus, he's not a vir. So yeah, you got it. You're not that confused. You're not any less confused than any of us. So ultimate. All right. Let's see. Everyone can see my screen still? Because I hit a button and something weird happened. I had to go back. All right. Cool. All right. All right, let's see. Time-wise, you know what? I think I'll stop there. I was going to introduce a third character, but I think I'll stop because we only got about 5 minutes left. And I want to be respectful of everyone's time. Let me just real quick check. Let me stop sharing my screen here real quick. Let me check the chat because I think, yeah, Zeus was changing shapes actually. But there was another god whose name's escaped me right now. I'll think about it and it'll probably come back to me. But all right, good. So are there any questions, Roganda, before I let you guys go? Hopefully your brains are a little fried,
So,
a little frayed.
question.
Ita.
So where do I find the readings, etc., for like the syllabus again? You're going
Yeah,
to
let me I'll get that. Let me get that link. So I'll let's see, here it is. I'm just gonna grab it. There you go. It's a Google Doc, so I'm kind of keeping it there. I just put it in the chat, so you just kind of save that to your Google Drive or wherever. That'll have everything there. I'm also
Yeah.
both Jesse and Allison are on here. All roads lead to Latin.com. So that's kind of like my community area. So we'll be putting the videos and stuff there too. So if you really want to kind of dive in and get some more Latin practice, there's lots of stuff there too. But yeah, keep that Google Doc in your drive somewhere, and I'll update it. But yeah, just to kind of remind you about the Google Drive. What resources, let me real quick before we leave. So the videos, after this video, I download it, I'll upload it to YouTube. I'll put the link here where it says video and the date, so you can just click on it if you want to rewatch it. The daily reading, there isn't anything there. It's a Google Doc. I'm gonna be adding to it, but there's nothing there yet because I usually type in a little story after we have our class. So when we get together next week, we'll start by going over that daily reading to kind of refresh our mind, and then we'll jump into the next lesson. And then the slides are here, right? So you just click on that and it'll take you right to the slides we went through today. So that should hopefully keep you oriented on that. All right. Any
So
other questions?
my-
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to tell you that I'm going to Italy for a month. So
Oh,
I don't know
I'm so
that-
sorry.
I'm not
So
sure about
terrible.
the timing. But it's going to be next week for the next 4 weeks, and I hate to miss it. So I'll probably be looking online for all of this material, and I appreciate.
Yeah, definitely. And circle back when you can, because I'd like to hear about, how you're doing in Italy, like
Yeah.
seeing some ancient Roman stuff. Where
Yeah.
are you going in Italy?
We go all over. We go
Okay.
at least once a year, and we're all over the place.
Awesome.
Take
Yeah, I
pictures
used
of
to,
the Latin inscriptions you come across.
Okay, good
Make
idea.
sure
yeah,
they're legible, so we
Yes.
can read
Yeah.
them.
Good idea.
yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Italy. I did archaeology over there. So Orvieto, I highly suggest that if you go there. And of course, Rome is amazing, but
Of course.
been all over Italy as well myself for many years. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. All right. Well, Walete omnes, that means goodbye. So I'll see you guys next week. Let me stop recording. So there we go. Walete. See you guys later next week.